Hey everybody, welcome to another fabulous installment of Omnibros Live on the Omnibus Collectors Network. It's your boy Gio here, joined by Riley, the Omnibus Collector. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. What's going on? How are you?
Awesome. Doing well. A little frustrated with some non-YouTube related stuff, but hanging in there. Thank you to the chat. Sorry we're a little bit late for all the live viewers. We were doing some behind the scenes chatting and all that fun stuff.
I was
Let me
eating.
remind you guys before we start on today's show, let me get this out of the way. This this stream, I guess, is sponsored by the folks at InStockTrades.com, or IST as the kids like to say. It's your home for all things collected editions, whether it be a manga, which we're going to talk about on today's stream, or a hardcover, a trade paperback, absolute, whatever it may be when it comes to collected editions. Your go to place is InStockTrades.com, up to 50% off, and even more than that, because there are some really cool deals if you head on over to the front page and loyalty discounts, tack on an extra percent to that, and fantastic customer service, wonderful packaging, all that great stuff when you visit InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on YouTube. All right, now we can begin.
Now we can begin. What are we talking about today?
Okay, so I had a debate in my head
Yep.
whether we were going to do like our top 5 most cherished items in our collection when it comes to manga, or because we never really got around to do it, although we've mentioned it in the past. The wish list of like these titles, like they need that deluxe size treatment. I think as new, not new, more recent manga fandom, we've been spoiled by the folks at Dark Horse by having such huge pretty deluxe editions. And I think a lot of series could benefit from that format. I think that's the new standard for what a deluxe edition can be when it comes to manga. And I thought, hey, let's do like an official wish list of like these are the best top tier manga that could use oversized, mega oversized treatment.
I definitely have ideas on that one.
I know Inoue is going to be on your list.
Um, I think that actually will I think that Vagabond, and I think I mentioned this in our last manga show because someone asked what about like Visbig's like series getting Visbig treatment,
Yeah.
and we kind of resoundingly said that line's dead. It's not. They're not doing any more of those. And I think that when Vagabond comes back, because once he finishes Real is when he said he's going to go back to Vagabond. I think that they're going to reprint that series in its entirety in a new format.
Yeah.
I don't know what the format will be, but it'll be something new. It might even be the same exact books, like the same 3-in-1s, maybe even keep the same spine, but just get rid of the Visbig trade dress, and just call it like Vagabond Perfect or something like that. But the one, like, I've talked about this elsewhere that I really want to see um is One Piece, because it's
It'd be fun.
such a grand series,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to see it optimally. I'd like to see them do like 5-in-1s, like the colossal editions of Attack on
Mm-hmm.
Titan,
Yeah.
but hardcover with thicker paper. So paper like closer to, but not exact, because it'd be really big in that one, but closer to what they have on the Dark Horse ones. Um, and I'd love to see either each story arc, like every, East Blue, Skypiea, uh, et cetera, each one of
Yeah.
those be a different color, or each volume be different. I think it'd be better if it's like every major arc changes, and it would not just be, it would be like faux leather, and in my head it looks like a book that you would find like a
Like
treasure.
of the era.
Yeah, it would look like a, so it's like a fake leather bound book, and it has, you know, embossing and stuff on it. That has I would put the Jolly Rogers of various characters
Mm.
on the cover. So like we would have it start with the Luffy Straw Hat Jolly Roger, and then we'd go into like throughout the series. Oda showed us what like Zoro's Jolly Roger would be and what Usopp's is and Nami's. So it could have all of their Jolly Rogers, and then you get into like having the different antagonistic characters that they run into, having a Jolly Roger for Law, having a Jolly Roger for Ace, like etc. Like all these other characters that come into the series, and every volume would have different stuff on it. So that's been my vision for One Piece, and this would be a way that like it really celebrates the series in a way that it hasn't been before, and it would be a huge undertaking. Like it's obviously that's going to be tons of volumes, but it would be something that like fans of the series would want to get because it's like the best presentation that you can get
Yeah.
with the series. Getting that artwork on those oversized pages that are the same. That's the thing. Those pages, that's the same page that the size that they're published in originally in the magazine every week in Japan. That's the same size. So getting it back into that size, um, adding in color art for all the sections that were originally in color, et cetera, et cetera. Like I've thought about this a lot, and that's like at the top of my list is that happens. The chances
I'm
of it actually happening, I don't know.
I don't know if you remember, they released like a hardcover set, standard sized, in I think last year, and I'm looking for the freaking picture and I can't find it. I think that is somewhat close to what you're talking about. Obviously, it's not oversized, but I think that would look amazing if they bumped it up in size. Let me see if I can find the actual picture, because I do remember sharing that. I think I even shared it on Facebook. Let me check. Because I know the East Blue Saga was the whole box was blue, and
Oh, yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about.
yeah, I think they could do that, but like bigger, and it would sell really, really freaking well. I think. Let's see if I can find it over here. But yeah, that would be fun to have One Piece in deluxe size. That would be great. One Piece.
Also, because Oda's artwork is very like detailed, especially once you keep going through the series, and like every panel is just chock full of information. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it would be really beneficial to the series for that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a second here. I'm on to you. I think I got it. Ah, found it. Yay, me. All right. I was the one who shared it. All right. Cool. Let's see. Let's share this screen over here. So this is the edition that came out last year, if I remember correctly. Let me zoom in
And
a little bit.
what country is that for? Is that Japan or no?
That is, I think, they're Japanese editions. Around 5,000 yen per box set.
So it's at like $50.
5,000 would be something like that. 5,000. Yeah, but I don't know. That does not seem right. I think these are maybe it's an error on the comment that I got. Let me show you some of the other stuff that's from them. Um, I don't know if you can see that.
So
There
going
you
into
go.
Alabasta, and I'm guessing Skypiea is the third one.
Skype. Yeah. And it says here East Blue contains the first 12 volumes. Here's another look at Alabasta. Yeah, there you go. So I think if you can do something like that, maybe not as well, art is subjective. I don't know if everybody would be on board with that style, but something like that I think would be cool. Just a lot taller.
Yeah,
Because this
yeah,
seems to be like the omnibus edition size of the 3-in-1s.
yeah, yeah. I think that would be neat. They look cool, but like I would rather it have like the faux leather look, especially because you can see they have like that kind of gilded trim on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
That would look so much better if it was like a brown leather looking cover.
Oh yeah, for sure. Look at Skypea.
Because it kind of washes out. Like you have some parts on there where like the gilded lettering and stuff is kind of washed out. It's hard to see, especially the images on the middle because of the backgrounds. It's
Hmm.
really hard to see what images in particular they decided to use here.
Yeah. The middle one. The middle one is Shin Godzilla, and then the third one is
It looks
the
like the
swordfish
swordfish.
from Bebop.
Yep, exactly.
And the first one, I have no idea what that is. Maybe King Kong or something from Kong Skull Island. So yeah, that'd be great. Uh, Another series that I think I would like to see get the deluxe size treatment uh, would be either Planets or Planetes, however you say it, or Vinland Saga. Because the hardcovers are nice. I own them. They look
Yeah,
great. But I think you can go bigger with that. And there's so much detail on those series that it would benefit to have like a Berserk sized book when it comes to Vinland Saga.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, what's the name? Yukimura
Yeah.
is the artist on that one, has also really nice detailed artwork. And on Planets or whatever, however you pronounce it, his work is very, I think it's a he, I don't remember. His work is like vast and beautiful in showing like the um
Space and Earth. And,
space, everything out there. So like there's a lot of scenes that would just look beautiful on larger trim paper like
oh,
that.
yeah. Nelson says, Lone Wolf and Cup, peace out. A lot of people want that in Deluxe. They're craving for that.
That's the one that I think is the most likely to happen next from Dark Horse.
I think it'll sell really well, not just on the manga side of things, but like regular folk that know about Lone Wolf and Cub and the from the movies. I think they would jump on that, and Dark Horse would make a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dean, thank you for joining, Dean. Is there any colored manga or all of them are black and white? I'm not into manga because they're black and white, and I find it hard to follow. There are a couple colored editions for manga. It's not the norm, but there are some, and there are special projects when they take manga and do colored editions. That is expensive. The whole point of manga being black and white is that they can pump them out pretty quickly,
Yeah.
not have to spend so much on colored inks. Um,
In in Japan, the entirety of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are available in color.
mhm.
In the US, we only got the first like
Three or
two.
four, something like that.
It was the Saiyan arc through like the first third, the whole Saiyan and Frieza story
Got it.
is in color. But they do often put colored pages in the volumes. Not always. There's a lot of times where the colored pages are not included. But for instance, I was reading Fist of the North Star the other day, and there's two or three sections in the second volume that have color to
Yeah.
them. But it's a pretty muted coloring. It's not like a full dynamic range of colors. However, the volume of Kawa by Akira Toriyama has like a 15-page full color section at the beginning with like
Hmm.
full. When I say full, I mean like not just like a little bit of sepia tones and reds and stuff, but like full greens, blues, all that stuff.
Yeah. And sometimes you just get random stuff like this that is coming out next year. The best of Attack on Titan in color, Volume One. I don't know why that's a thing, but yeah.
I just saw that too. I was going through and trying to figure out everything for December for what I'm picking up. And right now there's a ton of stuff coming out in December, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, what? And it's just what, like random, because it says best
Own
of.
6 of the most explosive chapters from Attack on Titan's 12-year run, selected by readers, editors, and creator Isayama himself, retouched and rendered in spectacular color. This collectible hardcover also includes the original, never completed draft of Attack on Titan Episode 1. 54 pages. 54 pages. Oh, and then read all 54, or whatever. Yeah, six chapters from the manga. I don't. You have to be a hardcore fan of this series to get this. And if you're gonna invest time in doing a hardcover for 6 chapters, then just color the whole freaking thing and do like The Walking Dead, and they're doing their colored editions.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Attack on Titan, and we're sort of derailing this, I saw the first Omnibus edition, and I was surprised because one, it's pretty thick, because it's 3 in 1, but it's larger than a regular manga volume. For some reason I thought it was going to be super small, but it's decently sized for an omnibus. I didn't pick it up, but because I think the colossal editions are the best editions. But yeah. Vagabond would be amazing. Yes. Lone Wolf and Cub. Blame. Blade of the Immortal. Right to Left. Dorohedoro. Banana Fish.
That's what they'll do with Blade is they'll release the entire thing.
Oh my god, I'll be annoyed.
And then they'll be like, now we're gonna release it in the original format.
The way it was intended, straight from Japan, and something like that. I'm like, no, come on, guys, don't do that.
I think that so I made a video about that a while ago about specifically Dark Horse titles,
Yeah.
and I did say Lone Wolf and Cub. I'm not a fan of Lone Wolf and Cub personally. I just
and not my jam either. Sorry.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I think I read like 9 volumes of it, and I threw that. Like I think I gave it enough of a try, right? Like 9 volumes.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I just couldn't get into it. It was fine. It wasn't bad. It wasn't really my thing. But I do think that that's the most likely one that they're going to do. But my most wanted ones are Trigun and Gantz, and I think that both of those would benefit from the format change because Trigun has very like dramatic and kinetic artwork that oftentimes admittedly was hard to understand what was going on the page. There's so much happening on the page, so much movement, so many bold lines and stuff all over the page that it got really difficult to tell what was happening, especially like going from Trigun to Trigun Maximum, where it's stuff that was no longer adapted. Like when it was hard to understand in the first series, at least I knew from the anime, like, oh, well, I know that this is what's happening. I know that's, but once it gets into the stuff that like the anime veered off from, I got to the point where I had to like reread several parts of that series multiple times to fully get what was going on. And it's because I kept missing details in the artwork. Like in having it inflated like that would be really beneficial. Gantz, because Oku's style is just really, really, really nice. And seeing that blown up, seeing his like kind of digitized style on larger pages, especially for a series like Gantz that's never been available on larger pages, like at least Yashiki is like slightly larger.
Yeah.
But it's got beautiful art, detailed art, really like beautifully rendered violence with the monsters and whatnot and aliens that they have to fight against. Um, that one could be really, really nice. The only thing is, it would be a really annoying thing for them to do because they're releasing those 3-in-1s, and then it would basically be
Oh,
like right after they finish 3-in-1s, they'd be like, "All right, hardcovers."
I'd be disappointed. I don't want them to cancel it because I'm collecting it that route. I've never owned Gantz before, so this is my first time. I already know the story, but this is my first time collecting it, and I like the chunky, smaller size. But I would agree that deluxe would be beneficial. Um, One of my strange picks, or maybe not so strange, I think a little bit out of left field. I want, first of all, a reprint, and two, deluxe sized edition of Mushishi. There's enough there in the artistry of that series to warrant oversized pages with the backdrops and the effects of the Mushishi around and all that, and Ginkgo on his journey and all that. I think that would look spectacular as a
Also,
tall
just
boy.
to have it finally in print again.
Yeah, yeah. Because the anime is one of my all-time favorites, and I've always wanted to own the manga. I remember back in the Borders days, rest in peace, Borders. I used to flip through Mushishi books, and I never got it. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at some stuff here. I know both of you are probably thinking about it. I am going to say it, slam dunk. I think that's going to happen. Next year is the anniversary, and the movie's coming out. So, if not here, maybe over there in Japan, they announce a deluxe or maybe a 2-in-1 or something like that. But I guarantee you they're going to do another run of that.
Because
Uh,
they something that Viz specifically has been doing is like copying the, I don't know if copying is the right word, but localizing these larger editions that have happened in Japan,
yeah,
like the Fist of the North Star hardcovers, the Full Metal Alchemist hardcovers, the Jojonium volumes, so parts 1, 2, and 3, were all directly localizing those versions of those series. I don't know if they would be the Kanzenban versions or something else. And then even JoJo Part 4,
yeah.
those hardcovers were based on 2-in-1s, not part of the JoJonium editions, but another 2-in-1 edition that they had on in Japan. And so Slam Dunk had been re-released, all 31 volumes now put into, I think, 20 volumes. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they re-released the entire series in those 20 volumes. Um, they have really nice new painted covers and stuff. They're really, really, really good volumes.
Oh
So I'd
yeah,
love to see that. I would upgrade. I'd probably actually keep my originals uh, because I love the series so much, but I would definitely get the new ones as well.
yeah. Uh, Strunkberry says, yeah, definitely Gantz, Trigun, and Oh My Goddess. Oh My Goddess, that would be fun. I don't know if that's high on their priority list, but because who has do they still own the license? Dark Horse,
I'm
or
pretty sure.
I don't think that's on a priority list compared to like Lone Wolf and Cub and Gantz. But it'd be fun though.
I'm pretty sure they do still have the license. It's been a little bit since they've published it, any of it though.
Yeah. What about? I see this a lot, even when I do live streams on my channel. People are they want Dodo Hedoro in the Lux format. Do you think it'll look well?
You know
I mean,
why? Is because I didn't realize this until recently, but people just want it reprinted because it's so hard to get now.
oh, I'm so happy that I jumped on it before the pandemic and before the anime ended, because I knew there was going to be a surge in popularity and people were going to grab it. So I ordered as much as possible. The only book I had trouble with was a random one, like Volume 4 or something like that. But I found it for cover at a third party seller and they shipped it pretty quickly. But now I think almost all of it is out of reach from people.
Well, there's like, so I posted, there was like a trend on TikTok, and you might have seen my video, but like people use a certain sound and they're like flexes in my manga collection, and so like I don't know what in my collection is a flex outside of the fact that I have like 3,200 volumes and I have every Shonen Jump series.
Yeah.
Like those are the things I know are flexes, but I was looking at specific titles and I just know what's a flex from when people say it. So I went through it. I'm like, GTO, Samurai Deeper, Banana Fish, stuff like that. And people kept mentioning Dorohedoro in that video, and I didn't realize that it was so hard to find. But specifically, like volume 23, like people are like, yeah, but I bet you don't have volume 23 of Dorohedoro, and I'm like,
What, really?
I got it when it came out. What are you talking about?
Yeah. That yeah, there's a lot of new fans that are joining and consuming as much as possible all together. And it's funny because like we're old school in that there's a series that's coming out and we get it volume by volume, and then the new crowd is wanting to get everything and like binge it and get everything and all that, and like, how do you have this? I'm like, yeah, because I bought it when it came out. What do you want me to say? But right now on Right Stuff, Dodo Hedoro is all out of stock. No, no, sorry. Volume 20, 19, 18, 17, 10. That's it. Everything else is out of stock. And they're going to take their sweet time printing that. So it's going to be a while. You know what's super rare? Or not super rare, super out of stock? Monster from Urasawa. I had no idea.
Night Pun Pun as well.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you feel about deluxe sized Asano works? Like super editions?
Super deluxe. Well,
Because the art is pretty detailed.
we already have what's it called? Nijihara holograph is pretty large.
Yeah.
Um,
What about Dead Demons or
yeah, I
Pum
think
Pum?
that'd be nice. Like any of those would be nice um to see in a larger thing. They need to re-release Solanin with the epilogue included. I will say that for sure.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That epilogue is not available at retail at all, right?
I believe so. I believe that that's correct.
I'm looking right here. Yeah, no, I can't see it. Oh well, interesting. James has a few more recommendations. James, I was just going to mention that Phoenix needs to happen. Considered by many to be one of many of Tezuka's magnum opus. Phoenix is great. I tried looking for the Spanish editions, and for some reason, nobody from Spain or Mexico or whatever will ship to my address. I'm like, bro, really? Of all the people asking for this stuff, I'm gonna be the one that's like, nah, I can't ship it to your address. Like, what? Okay. So even that I'm having trouble locating because I'll read manga in Spanish. I know how to read Spanish, so uh, I really want that Phoenix set, the white trim. You've seen that on online.
I think so.
Let me pull up a picture here. Phoenix Osamu Tezuka. Spanish edition. Phoenix. Let's see. Let me share my whole screen while I'm at it. Yeah. So these volumes right here are super nice, and I think they are as tall as or a little bit taller than a standard hardcover, and they're all white with the Phoenix, and it looks amazing, but it's super expensive. So if you just Google Phoenix in Spanish, Phoenix,
Yeah.
yeah, Not all of them are available. You can get one or two, but like I said, I tried it and I couldn't find them for my shipping address. So I think Phoenix would look amazing, but I don't want to sound blasphemous here. I don't know that a whole lot of Tezuka's library would benefit from the larger size simply because of his art style.
Hmm.
Because when I think deluxe editions and like prestige and all that stuff, I want to see like the hyper realistic, super detailed stuff. And Tezuka has a style to him, a little bit more cartoony. So I don't know. Maybe I'm way off, and somebody's already typing in the comment section later, like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, you're better than me. I'm just not a fan of Tezuka at all.
Tezuka for me, I like Kimba. I like Astro Boy. Astro Boy's my favorite.
Yeah.
I like Dororo. And what else do I like? Phoenix, obviously. I've read a little bit of it online, and that's about it. I know he has like way too many series. I know Omar is a huge Tezuka nut, and he has almost everything. But like most of the titles, I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good with just like the Kimba, Astro Boy, Dororo. I'm good with that. Uh, Cleveland Brown, thank you for joining. I would like to buy Kingdom volumes. That's not available yet in English. It just got announced for either Spain or France. I think Spain. We're getting a Spanish edition. So I would get that if you can read the Spanish version. Let's see. Oh, James, I forgot to mention the whole comment. Sorry about it, buddy. A few series that he would like to see are Kingdom, Lupin the Third, Space Brothers, and Phoenix. Space Brothers, I've never read. I own the series and I've seen the show, but I've never read Space Brothers. Lupin, are you getting the hardcover for Lupin next month?
Mhm. Yeah, I plan on it.
That I didn't know that was on purpose released for the anniversary a few like 2 years ago or something for the 50th anniversary. Because I thought it was really random that they would just do like a greatest hits. I'm like, what? What? Turns out it was from the anniversary edition, so it's the exact same thing. I do want to get that. There aren't a lot of Loop on the third volumes, right? It's not a long series. I mean, the anime goes on forever, but the manga is fairly short compared to the adaptations. In Kingdom, I know very little of. I've seen parts of the show, but I have not read it, and I know it's super popular. Damn it! I knew I should have taken up Spanish back in high school. It's always good to know another language. Just saying that much. When it comes to reading that stuff, that's great. I've read manga that's not available in English online via the Spanish scans. No shame in that. Uh, what about? Let's see. We're here. Uh, what about Kodansha? Any Kodansha titles that you think would benefit from the format?
To Your Eternity, because what's it called? A Silent Voice is getting those hardcover releases soon, so it'd
Yeah,
be cool to have To Your Eternity in a similar format.
it'd be a lot. It'd be at least 10 volumes right up front. If they do like two in ones or something like that.
Yeah, and there's no telling how long the series is going to go.
Every to Eternity, I think I'm like 2 volumes behind, and there's no indication of it ending soon. So yeah, you're right. Japan also. Oh, this was when we were talking about the colored editions. Undead Unluck color versions. I did not know that. Interesting.
A lot of titles, a lot of uh, Shonen Jump manga like do get re-released in color. Like One Piece has got a re-release. JoJo's has had re-releases as well. Um, so it's not terribly surprising, but it is a younger series. So because usually I think it happens way down the line.
Mm. By the way, speaking of Undead Unluck, I was at Walmart recently and they stocked up on their manga section. Undead Unluck, fine. And then I'm looking at the different volumes just for fun. I wasn't going to pick out anything. And they had a ton of blood on the tracks. And I went, no, what are you doing, Walmart? Why, why are you potentially traumatizing kids all around the world that are randomly going to pick up blood on the tracks to read?
Even worse, because a lot of I know it was true when I was in the early 2000s. It was true that like a lot of parents just assumed that um, manga was all kid friendly and
Yeah.
pick stuff up for their kids, and their kids look at it and they're like, oh, and the parents had no idea. And I feel like it's possible that that a parent would like pick that book up just being like, oh, it had a happy looking mom and baby on the cover, and I thought it'd be a cute one.
Maybe it'd be a cute family oriented manga about the relationship between a mother and a son.
But that honestly just shows like a lack of attention by the parents. Like if you pick something up and find that it's inappropriate, like after you buy it, that's not the fault of the publisher. That's
Oh
your
no.
fault for not looking at like you can
You remember?
in most cases turn the book around and see an age stamp on it and then see why.
Yeah. You remember the story with I think it was in Texas or I don't know which state. The kid brought home a copy of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and the
Yeah,
mom was like, "What is this degenerate filth in the library?" and asked for the book to be banned and or destroyed. I thought that was hilarious. Obviously, the book was not for a younger crowd, but like Miss Kobayashi, of all the freaking manga titles you had to bring home, had to be that one.
at least it wasn't interspecies reviewers.
Oh yeah. You know what? Screw it. Now that you mention it, let's do a deluxe interspecies reviewers. Why the hell not? And put that giant sticker like the parental advisory stickers right on the middle. James, Tokyo Revengers. First of all, we need the friggin'
It's just got to get released in the first.
yeah. I don't know. I'm, Tokyo Revengers. I love the story, but it's not one of my favorite things art wise. That's just me. But the story is excellent. So. Let's see. What about Oshimi books? Since we talked about what's her face, Blood on the Tracks. Because I only have here with me Flowers of Evil, and that'd be interesting if it got a larger format.
And all of his other works are just in standard volumes.
Yeah.
Like Flowers of Evil are slightly oversized, like 3-in-1s, 4-in-1s, but the 3-in-1s, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but all of his other work that's available in English is just single standard sized books. Some of
I
them might
think
be a bit
I
larger.
think Happiness is a little bit larger in size.
Yeah, I was like, as I said that, I'm like, I think there's something that's bigger,
Yeah.
but it's not. They're still single volumes.
He has Welcome Back Alice coming out next year. So
Yeah,
I assume that's going to be the same trim size as Happiness. And I don't know if you know, shoot, I think Waltz, and I'm looking at his collected works here. Waltz and something else are they're getting a limited printing at Anime NYC. According to Vertical, or I guess Kodansha now, That's going to be the only way you can get the two books. Miss Kusakabe, that's the one. Miss Kusakabe and Waltz. It'll only be con exclusives. So if you're going for a complete Oshimi set, you're gonna have to find somebody to get those books for you from the convention. I've never read them, so I have no idea. Waltz is a one shot, and it says here Miss Kusakabe is also a one shot. Okay. Is it vertical or is it? No, I don't think it's vertical. I messed up. Let's see. Denpa. Sorry, my bad, folks. Denpa. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Sorry, my bad. I get the two confused. Cleveland Brown. No, it's not. It's not related to Ninja Scroll. I mean, it does have ninjas, but it's not the same continuity or series. Let's see. I'm looking through my list here of titles that I've read. Another one that I would pick. Maybe something like Sunny from Matsumoto. I think that'd be fun because we have Tech on Kinky in a slightly
huge
trade paperback.
Yeah.
Melton Bros GR says planets on one volume in the H.P. Lovecraft manga adaptations. Those be great. Those would be great because the Lovecraft stuff is very cinematic in its execution. So I think it would look great with oversized pages.
To add to that, I would so because I already thought about this one. The H.P. Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness, both volumes, plus the short stories that we got in that other volume, the Hound and other stories.
Hound, yeah.
All of that in a single volume. It would be either black with green embossing or green with black embossing.
Ooh.
And this would be the first in a series of Gonatabe hardcover collections of H.P. Lovecraft's works, because he has many other adaptations of Lovecraft that have not been localized. And so this would be the first hardcover, and then Dark Horse would continue releasing paperbacks and then adapting them into those further hardcovers for the other stuff. Like I think he's done, what is it, Sound Out of Color or whatever?
Let me check real quick.
I don't remember, but he's done a lot of stuff that has not been localized.
Yeah. Tanabe. Go has a lot of stuff, like you said.
So the Haunter of the Dark.
Haunter of the Dark. Toki wo Koeru? I don't know what that is. Oh, The Shadow Out of Time. Sorry.
Color Out of Space.
Oh, he did Color Out of Space. Cool. Mr. Nobody. Outsider. Oh, that's creepy. Kasane, also creepy. What the hell, Go? Yeah, all his works are super creepy. Jesus. Have you seen Outsider?
I don't think so. I'm looking at stuff right now.
Let me share the cover for that because that's super creepy. There we go. It's a collection of stories. It contains The Outsider from Lovecraft and a bunch of other stuff. Juga original series from Go Tanabe, 26 Men and a Girl from Maxim Gorky, The House with the Mezzanine by Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. So that's creepy.
So yeah, there's a lot more Tanabe work that they could release, and it could, like I said, be a series. of
Of Deluxe's, yeah, definitely. Next, Imagine, thank you for joining. Have you mentioned all the Ikigami series that have gone out of print? We have not.
um
What do you think about
so
that?
Sanctuary. Sanctuary is actually so it's written by Sho Fumimura, but Sho Fumimura is a pen name for Bronson, who does Fist of the North Star, and it has artwork by Ryoichi Ikigami. I will say, do not. This is another one of my hot takes. I'm not a fan of Lone Wolf and Cub. I'm not a fan of Tezuka. I also hated Crying Freeman.
I remember when you talked about that stuff with us.
I was so disappointed in that series, and it was like just an absolute disgust over like the way that the character acts towards like women,
Yeah.
and like specifically how he acts with like towards his partner, like his, I forget if it was like a wife or girlfriend, but like bruh, like he just completely mistreated her.
Yeah.
But so that put me like in a really sour place for him, because, and I know that was written by Koike, I think, but now I have that association with his artwork as well, which sucks. So I haven't picked up another. That's not true. I do have My the Psychic Girl,
I was just gonna say you told me about mine.
and I also don't have it physically, but I have the Spider-Man manga on my tablet.
Nice. That's a classic.
So yeah, there's a lot of his that have not been released in the US, but there is a lot of his that have, and as is mentioned, have been out of print for a while. Sanctuary, I believe, is like 9 volumes long, and I was literally just today looking on eBay, and those volumes were going for like $50
Wow.
each. Can I? This is an aside though. Um, I did not realize
12
until
volumes. Yeah.
just recently, like yesterday, how expensive Ultimate Muscle has become.
Really?
Yeah, and when I bought it, when I was like, I finally went around and collected the volumes. It was already pricey. It was already hard to find stuff. But when I got them, or when I looked yesterday, there
Yeah.
was, okay, just an example. There was a lot of I think 7 random volumes going for about $600.
What?
Yeah,
Oh.
I yeah, I didn't even look. I just looked at the first page and it was like individual volumes going for $150, lots going for multiple hundreds of dollars. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I'm sitting here like so happy that I decided to buy that series when I did,
Yeah.
before I started to try and collect everything, because if so, I would have been so stuck. I would have been so stuck.
Oh. I'm looking at it right now. Somebody's asking $589 for a 7 volume lot of Ultimate Muscle.
Mhm.
Volume 1, $125. Volume 3, $29. Volume 2, $50. Volume 13, $150. Damn. Okay.
Like when I ordered it, the vast majority of the volumes were available for around cover price, and there were only 2 that I couldn't get for cover price. It was like volumes 7 and 13.
I remember I tried helping you, but I couldn't find anything. Riley, didn't you buy all of Ultimate Muscle initially, then sold it again, and then you bought it back again?
No, I bought the first 2 volumes when they first came out. Sold them because I think I didn't have the money to keep up with it, and then I repurchased it like 3 or 4 years ago.
Nice.
I will tell you which ones I did sell and repurchase. D Gray Man, I repurchased from Adonis. He sold me, I think, the first like 23 or 24 volumes for $40. Gintama, Reborn, Kurohime, Nora, um, All of those I sold most of them because they were discontinued,
Nice.
and then I just recently repurchased those. Uh, Nora I sold because I couldn't see myself rereading it, but I repurchased it for the whole Shonen Jump collection. Um, there's another one. I just literally had it in my mind and I forgot what it was. What? What do you want?
Welcome to the third co-host of the show, everybody.
I forgot I left the gate on the stairs off, and so she came up. Shoot, what was it? Oh, I sold Claymore also, and I rebought that one right in time. And that one because I fell really far behind on it, and I was like, all of these I sold at the same time. By the way, they were all like when I was getting married. I was like, I need to sell stuff because I need some extra cash because I'm literally like I'm getting married and my only job is at a movie theater, so I'm not making jack shit. So it's like I need to sell a ton. I sold hundreds of volumes of manga, of comics, of everything. I made like a few $100 off of it by selling all of that.
Wow.
And then as time's gone forward, I've repurchased those things. And I repurchased a lot of these at like the best time because now like Claymore is super hard to get according to some people. And I purchased the box set like for $80 maybe.
Wow.
So the best timing for that. I think that's it.
James is asking, any update on your journey to find Gintama Volume 21?
Yes. So this has a happy ending.
Yay.
But so I bought it from someone emailed me who watches my channel, and they were like, hey, if you're still searching for Gintama 21, there's a copy that a used bookstore chain near me has listed online for $15. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I've been looking still. This is awesome. So I purchased it immediately. It's like late last Friday night. And the next day I missed the call, but that's weird. Like, I've never had a seller call me before, like a store call me. And they called me and they left a voicemail. It was very hard to hear. It was like staticky. And they were just like, hey, we need to, we're calling to talk to you about your recent order. Please call us back during business hours. And I was like, damn it, are they going to tell me they don't have it? Like, what's going on? And I looked back at the email, like the confirmation email, and it had something I didn't notice on there before. And my wife and I, because I told her about it, and she was like, this is really shitty. But we went onto the website, and this notice also existed on the website. But the way that it was set up, it looked like it was just because it said notice. Store credit cannot be used on online orders. And then there was a lot more stuff after that, but it was one paragraph. So I thought it was all like grammatically. I thought it was about that because it was a single paragraph. But in the middle of the paragraph, it says prices on manga and collectible books are subject to change. Like, basically after you order it, they're saying like after you order something, we have the right to look at the market value and then change the price on you after you've already purchased it.
That sucks.
And I didn't realize that they said that in there already. Otherwise, I would have known to expect that. And like, fingers crossed that I get out of it with getting this for $15. And but I was like, okay, that's what they're doing. And I haven't called them back. I just assume like they're going to be like, yeah, it's going to be like $100. F you. I don't like if you are a retailer and you want to sell something for significantly above cover price, that's your prerogative. It's your store. It's fine. But even if they have that notice on there, to me, that just is a little bit lazier. Like, they should do something else. Like, I don't know if, like, for me, maybe I would put price pending instead of having it listed. But they listed it at a price that was already above cover price. Yeah. So it's like they already had marked it up once. And so I don't know, it bothered me the way that they handled that type of thing. It really bothered me. And then I like was posting on my TikTok, because on TikTok I'm doing a series where I go alphabetically through every single Shonen Jump title talk a little bit about it, and then move on. I turned it into a little bit of a game where people get to guess like what's the next one alphabetically, which is fun because some of those titles are not on the app. So there's a few like Dragon Drive is coming up pretty soon that people are going to be a little confused about because it's not on the app.
Yeah.
And someone commented, a viewer of my channel, commented on one of the videos and said, "Hey, have you found Gintama 21 yet?" And I said, "Man, I have been bamboozled twice now out of this volume. The first time I bought it on Amazon and the people told me it was lost in transit. And then the second time is this one." And he's like, "Okay, well, if you're interested, I have a copy I can send you."
Nice.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm freaking interested. So the guy emailed me and he said like, "Yeah, I have a copy. I also have a copy of volume 18. I noticed that yours was damaged and I can send you that as well. I'd be happy to send it your way." And I was like, "Can I do something for you?" If he's watching, his screen name is SLDY93. That's his screen name on stuff. But I was like, I can purchase them from you if you want. I can send you at least the money for shipping." He's like, no, it's fine. Like, shipping's nothing. I don't need these. Like, you can have them. It's, I want to help you. And I was like, oh my God. So there was a happy ending after all of that.
Nice.
And, even happier with that, like adding to that, I just filmed, I need to edit it, but I just filmed earlier today video about like my like a guide kind of on what I do to collect rare manga, like how I go through the processes of like checking different stores and what I do to try and find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the series that I decided to do is I talk down volume by volume, every volume, and how I got it for Gintama. And I show like my budget, and on Gintama, my budget was $230, $10 per volume. And I was like, this brings me down to the last volume. And if it wasn't for that guy like sending it to me, I would have gone over budget. But instead, I was under budget by $5.
Whoa, nice.
So like I just cleared it.
So was that the final volume missing for your collection, or do you still need more Gintama?
So it was the final volume. And then here's the next wrinkle, because nothing has to be easy. Everything can be easy. I had ordered a copy of Kaguya-sama Love is War Volume 10 off of eBay, and this has a sad ending.
Yeah.
I could not find it anywhere, but there was a listing on eBay, and I read this listing up and down, up and down. There was no image, but the seller has like a 98%. The title is right. The number is right. It says it's listed as being in English.
You took the risk.
Yeah, I was like, I'll take the risk. If it doesn't, because it says it's in English. If it comes in, if it's not in English, I'm going to get my money back. And it took at least 2 weeks for them to ship it. And once they shipped it, it took another like week for them to add the tracking. And once they added the tracking, it took another week for the tracking to actually start updating.
Wow.
And then it took another week for it to get to me.
Damn.
So a month plus later, I finally get it. And as soon as I like rip the package open, I can see the freaking label from the publisher. I'm like, damn it, it's in German. Like I literally walked into the house, opened it up, and I looked and I was like, God damn it. And my wife's like, what? And I go, it's in German. I told her earlier, I was like, I'm expecting some sort of buffoonery to happen here with this book, because
it can't all be, yeah.
There's something going on here. And so sure as shit, I opened it up and it was in German. So I emailed them immediately. I'm like, hey, you guys listed it in English. It's in German. I just want my money back, And they got back to me a few hours later and they're like, hey, sorry for the issue. Like, can you give us the title and the ISBN? I provide that and I have not heard back. So I don't know at what point I'll have to try and escalate this, but they listed it as English. It's not in English. I think I've got a pretty solid case here. Mm-hmm. So now the final book, literally the last book, is Kaguya-sama Love is War Volume 10.
That's it? That's all you need?
That's it. That is the only, because I have volumes 2 and 11 on the way to me.
Nice.
I think volume 11 should be here tomorrow, and then 2 should maybe next week.
That is awesome. Hey, maybe when you get that last volume, we can do a stream about it and talk about the process of getting that set, or
I,
the completing the wall of
I
Shonen
have
Jump.
so many different videos planned.
Yeah.
So many different things I want to talk about with all that because it has definitely been an experience. And one of the someone else that helped me out, a guy that another person really nicely was like, "Hey, I saw that you were missing Nisekoi 13. I have a copy if you want it." Again, I offered to pay for it. They said no. Um, he was like, "After this, do you think you're going to try and do another line like Shonen Sunday?" And I was like, "I don't know if I want to put myself through this stress again."
Yeah. How many Shonen Sundays are there?
um,
Um,
Not
localized.
so much. There's like the only thing is there is a one particularly daunting title in the line, and that's Case Closed. But I've been planning on getting Case Closed back again. That's another one that I had sold back when I got married. I had about 36 volumes, and
What's
I
funny about it? Sorry to interrupt. What's
yeah
funny about it is that you sold it, and now you're going to get it, but you need to get more books from Case Closed because it's still going. So I find
yeah
that fun.
it's like 80 volumes in the US right now,
Yeah.
100 plus in Japan.
Oh man, I want to. I love Case Closed. I would love to own some of that, but I don't. I don't know if I'm committed to getting 100 plus volumes of that. Uh, Shonen Sunday. Yeah, not a whole lot. I'm looking at a wiki article here.
If you go on to Viz Media's website,
Yeah.
um, the you can go to Viz Media Shonen Sunday and they have everything listed on there, but it might not be 100% accurate because they don't have some things listed under the Shonen Jump line. Like
Mm,
when I was trying to figure out everything that's in the Jump line,
yeah.
the website shows most of it, but it doesn't include most of the discontinued titles, Legends, Dragon Drive, Nora, not to be confused with Nura. That one's in there, but Nora is not.
Yeah.
Um, so there were several. Like I actually had to go back and like I forgot about Legends and Dragon Drive initially, and then when I figured out those, I was like, damn it, I just added another like 18 books onto my list. Um,
Uh, Going back to the topic a little bit, the Death Note all-in-one edition deluxe size would be amazing if they could pull it off. That would be like an omnibus, like a Western style omnibus. I could see that happening one day, maybe. If they did the tiny one all-in-one edition, they could do the big one.
yeah,
It's
and
Death Note. It'll
add
sell
to it,
well.
add the additional short stories and stuff
Oh, that's right. We have
because
the
they only put the one short story in the all in one, but
yeah,
we got the new one from like last year, the one that has Donald Trump getting the Death Note, and
yeah.
then they could also include the original pilot chapter as well as a bunch of short. There were a bunch of like short things. I forget what they were about. I think it's like focused kind of on Light's dad, maybe. I don't remember, but
Yeah, I don't
those are all coming out later in that short story collection. So if they did like a increased size one that's like the size of a Berserk volume,
That'd be fun. Yeah.
they could add all of that in there as well.
Speaking of, we're out of time already, but I think something like Yu Yu Hakusho could be fun too. It's a short enough series that you can do a deluxe edition for. Since it's getting a Netflix series all of a sudden, maybe
Yeah.
there's renewed interest in that title and we can get a reprint. I doubt it'll happen, but anything's possible these days. James says your next project could be buying all the Shonen Jump US magazines.
My brother-in-law, because I used to have probably like half of them, and then I sold those as well. But my brother-in-law the other day was like, "Hey, I'm at a Half Price Books, and they have a ton of them, and they're like 250 a piece." And I was like, "That is very tempting, but I'm not uh, really set on grabbing those because I already have all the content that's in them outside of like the articles." and stuff like that. But what I did think would be like, this was like my falling asleep thoughts. I was like, what if I did buy all of them and I pulled out everything, like I pulled out all the articles and I basically sent them in to get bound as a custom omnibus set of just like all of the additional content from the magazines, like any chapters of, because I think they would put like one shots in there sometimes that might not have been physically available otherwise, but usually it was like articles, interviews, color art, stuff like that, anything that was in the magazine that's not published as a volume of manga. That's a thought that I had. Also, in the same line of thinking, I was like, I could also try and collect all of the Raijin comics issues, because there's only like 43 of those, or 44.
That'd be interesting. I'll give that a shot. So, gang, this is going to be the last question, and it goes to our buddy N-Man. Riley, will you be getting To Love Ru and Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs as well? They're not Viz, but still Shonen Jump.
I specifically was only collecting the ones that are part of Viz Media's Shonen Jump line, not the ones that are part of the Shonen Jump magazine outside of that. So I don't necessarily like have plans for those. I might change my mind in the future, but it's not part of this. I also like,
I can see it happening later down the line.
Yeah, knowing me, but I also like specifically am not happy with Kentaro Yabuki, because I hate the direction that he went after Black Cat, and then like that he continued going in that direction with Ayakashi Triangle. Like, I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, you like anime titties, but like, just show me some action. Like, Black Cat was great. Like, I'm not a fan of the ecchi stuff, and like Ayakashi Triangle is pushing way too far into that, and that's a large reason why I'm not like super intent on getting either To Love Ru or Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring. And I have a whole list. I have a giant, like, there's over a dozen titles that fall into that same category that were Jump manga, like they were in the Shonen Jump magazine, but then when they got released in the US, they're under different lines or from different publishers, including some that are discontinued. And that's stuff that like I have notes for videos in the future. Like Bastard is one of those. Raijin Comics did Bomb Girl. There was a single volume released of that one, but like the spin-offs didn't get released. Barefoot Again is another one it was in Shonen Jump magazine, but it was published by another publisher in the US. So there's a lot. There are a lot of those. I think there's one called like Dark Lady or Dark, I don't remember, but it was it's by someone that I have something else by. I think it's by the same guy that did Eyes and Video Girl Eye, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'm probably mistaken on that one because I'm not sure. I think Orange Road may be one of those.
Let me check.
Kimigure Orange Road, I'm pretty sure was.
Orange Road.
I'm more interested in that one though.
Kimagure Orange Road from Izumi Matsumoto. Izumi Matsumoto worked on Sesame Street, Kimagure Orange Road, Shin Kimagure Orange Road, and Matsumoto Izumi Digital Short Contents.
But that, I believe, was part of the Shonen Jump magazine in Japan, and then in the US, it was a Kickstarter.
That was part of. I'm seeing the Jump Comics logo on it on the cover.
Shadow Lady, that's the one I was trying to think of. It's Masakazu Katsura, who does Video Girl Eye, Zetman, and Eyes, which Eyes was like, I thought that I was never going to get volume 15 of that series, and someone found it for me in freaking Canada.
Wow, nice.
I paid for it to be shipped in. It was like probably $25 or something total.
Cool.
So yeah, Shadow Lady was released by Dark Horse back in like the mid to late 90s. and
Gentle Lady, yeah.
that was part of Weekly Shonen Jump.
It'd be interesting to track some of those down, even if you only get the Japanese editions, just for the heck of it.
Yeah, I think Bow as well. Yeah, Bow by Araki. That one was also, and I have that one, so that's
Mm-hmm.
good to go.
Nice. Gang, most of these titles that we talked about tonight, you can get at our sponsor. That's In Stock Trades, IST, your home for all things collected editions, manga, omnibus, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, all that fun stuff. You look for it at IST. Up to 50% off. If you make an order of $50 or more, you get free shipping, fantastic customer service, and wonderful packaging at InStockTrades.com, our wonderful sponsor, making it happen, guys. Denman says he doesn't think To Love Rude Darkness is Shonen Jump anymore. Not too sure about that. Kima Gure Orange Road Omnibus has been hard to find for a while now. The others have come in and out of print, but Volume 1 is elusive. Good luck on that.
It was back not long ago. It went back out of print, but it was. I got the email notification on that one.
Nice. Yep. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. Never mind. Gang, that's about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got to go. We've got to go. Thank you to the chat, as always. You guys are wonderful. Thank you to our sponsor, In Stock Trades, for making it happen. And if you're watching the replay later on in the comment section, let us know what are some of your favorite manga that you would like to see in deluxe, oversized format. The bigger, the better. Leave those comments down below. These were some of our random picks that we thought would look pretty amazing in that format. Obviously, it's a whole new ball game with the introduction of the deluxe sized editions, in my opinion. So yeah, looking forward to those comments, guys. Thank you so much for supporting Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. Riley, where can people find you on the internet when you're not doing this show?
The Omnibus Collector on YouTube and on TikTok is where I usually post. And I'm also on Instagram and Twitter, but I don't really post as much. Yeah. If you are interested in seeing me talk about every single one of these Shonen Jump titles that we're mentioning, that series of videos is currently happening on my TikTok. And tomorrow is when I should have my video published on my channel where I go through kind of my purchasing of these books and the strategies and the different stores that I used and how I found a lot of these harder to find books.
Nice. Noel Rodriguez with a final comment, jumping in late, but Lone Wolf and Cub hands down. It's going to happen eventually, for sure. That's it, gang. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, we'll be back next Monday for Hall's Previews and Reads. Next Wednesday, we got news and Q&A, and then next Thursday, another comic talk with the Omni Dog. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Catch you guys all.